Hey, what's up guys? So we are here going over the new patch notes over here for Season 22's PTR for Diablo 3. Let's go ahead and hop right into it. So first off, as far as when is it starting, October 1st is going to be when the PTR for Season 22 is going to be starting. Keep in mind the PTR is not when Season 22 goes live, but it is basically available for us to go ahead and test out to kind of see these newer builds. And this season, guys, is going to be absolutely amazing over here. And if you're excited about a new Diablo season, drop a like on this video because I've been waiting for a new good season, and this one is definitely looking very good. So like I said, it's going to be starting on October 1st over here, and they're actually going to be doing this in two different phases. So on October 1st is when the PTR will first be coming out, and they'll be introducing all of the new legendary items and set item changes, as well as the newer item that is going to be introduced into this. And then on October 8th, so 1 week after, they will be adding the seasonal theme. And then it's going to go ahead and mention how to connect to the PTR. If you guys don't know how to connect to the PTR, it's very simple. All you have to do is on your Battle.net client, you just go ahead, instead of let's saying Diablo 3, you're just going to go ahead and select the public test realm, and you just go ahead and download it and play it. But yeah, that's what they go over. So let's go ahead and hop right into the season over here. So with this season, it's called Shadows of the Past, and activating a shrine or pylon will spawn a shadow clone of your class. This clone will randomly have one of the three predetermined builds. This clone's power will scale with your character and will last for 1 minute. Or if your character dies, see below for the shadow clone variations that can spawn when activating over here. So there are several different builds for each class. I'm not going to go ahead and dip into every single one, but how I think it's going to be working, and I'm thinking how they're doing this. If you guys remember, there is an item called the Hunt of Voxel, where if you're able to stun an enemy, you're going to be summoning these shadow clones. I'm guessing it's kind of related to this. Now, if you guys have used the Hunt of Voxel, the damage is just really non-existent for this. No one really uses this, but I would really like for this thing to be quite viable. I'm wondering if these are going to be the same shadow clones, and if this item is actually going to be a lot more viable if they're the same shadow clones. I would think it would be really cool if these also gave you the shadow clones, but remember, you're going to be having to hit a shrine or pylon. There is an item that technically grants you the effect of a shrine or pylon. I'm not sure if that's going to be able to proc, which can open up the doors to more builds over here. But so with Witch Doctor, again, every single one of these is going to have its own set of skills, and since it does scale with your character, I hope it actually deals enough damage. But at the end of the day, there are still some skills that will be able to be benefited off of from a party. I think this is going to get absolutely crazy if you're in a party and you summon, each one of you guys summons these other shadow clones here. But here's, I'll go over the Witch Doctor one fully, and then I'll kind of go over the other ones a little bit faster. So basically you have all of these different skills with runes on these shadow clones. Some of these could be pretty good, like Tornadoes over here. That's going to group up everything. And I'm also wondering if like something is going to proc extra damage bonus, if that's going to work with you, as in like if you would cast a primary, maybe the secondary on like the exploding palm would be able to be detonated because it's technically your shadow clone. So we'll have to wait and see if that does work, as that will be really cool. But it's going to be a nightmare for people doing those greater rifts, because you might have to get really lucky with shrines or pylons and get the exact one that you need multiple times in order to do some of these very, very high greater rift pushes in a fast time. But yeah, so basically you have all these runes like Wall of Death, you get surrounded by death, zombie chargers, zombie bears, corpse spider, Medusa spiders, hex, jinx. But yeah, I won't go over all of these. I'm just going to kind of skim these. We got Wall of Death, Firebomb, Hex, Piranhas, Zombie Charger, Spirit Barrage. And for the other build, we got Mass Confusion, Spirit Barrage, Wall of Death, Piranhas, Horrify, Grasp of Dead. So I think overall these are pretty cool changes. Like I said, I'm not going to go over every single skill and rune, but we'll briefly go over them. Like, looks like with the Wizard over here, we got like a Frozen Ore build. We got like some ice. And then the other one is going to be like a Meteor, Explosive Blast, Black Hole over here. So if they can just CC some of the enemies, I think it would be cool. The only problem with some of these clones is Diablo 3 has gotten to a very fast point in the game where we're clearing, screens of content very fast. I hope these clones can keep up with our speed, otherwise they'll just get left in the dust, unfortunately. Over here, then we have like an Arcane build with like Wave of Force, Slow Time. This could be kind of cool to mess around with as well. Then Star Pack. And for Barbarian, we got like a Seismic Slam build. There's also Wrath of Berserker Whirlwind over here. That's going to be really awesome to go ahead and see how these interact in the game. Then we have like a Hammer of the Ancients build. So that's cool. And I'm glad they didn't give us any buffs, because one thing that I'm kind of worried about, some of these, classes might actually have a buff, and what happens is it's going to overwrite yours. Like if they do like the shouts that would buff you, that could be a problem because it's overriding your rune. So I'm glad that they didn't put that in here. So that's kind of good. With Monk over here, it looks like we've got like a Wave of Light over here, and then we've got like a Cyclone Strike, like a Deadly Reach, and Fists of Thunders over here. Okay, very interesting mix up. And then on top of that, we have like an Exploding Palm build. That's pretty cool. But Necromancer, you have Frozen Lands. That's very, very good. And then we have like a Death Nova over here. Looks like there's a Bone Spear and maybe like a Corpse Lance Bone Spear as well over here. And then with the Demon Hunter, we got like a Mark for Death. That's something that you could just straight up benefit off of, especially when you're looking at doing maybe the very final, like the boss at the end of like a Greater Rift. This could be kind of nice over here. So we have like a Impale build, and then we also have a multi-shot. There's another. So I hope that some of these don't overlap too much. Like this is multi-shot Arsenal, this is multi-shot Wind Chill, but what's the build? This one looks like they both have Elemental Arrow. One of them is Evolution, one of them is Frost over here. But I hope that these do scale well with when you add cold damage. I hope they get some sort of benefit, and I hope they actually deal damage, because that's like the biggest concern over here. And then with a Crusader, there's a Akaret's Champion. Looks like there's a Sweep Attack build, there's a Falling Sword Blessed Hammer build, then a Heaven's Fury build. Pretty cool. And then on top of that, with Season 22 over here, there's going to be 2 unique new rewards, which is awesome, because sometimes they do recycle some of these, which is still good for the people that haven't actually gotten them. And then a pet will be granted for the players who actually complete the entire journey. And then this is my favorite thing with this new season, guys, is Kanai's Cube will have a 4th slot. I hope this is permanently added in. So this 4th slot will have the choices of the 3 first slots, but will not stack with any of them. The intent is to provide players with creative flexibility to their character build. So this is really awesome. And I would say overall, this is my favorite change over here, because this opens up the doors to more builds. I know previously we've had a season where we were able to basically have 3 slots, but we can put in like 3 weapons. This is not the case over here. We're just going to be able to have just a straight up extra slot, which will again open up the doors for more builds. So this is actually my favorite change, in addition to what else we're getting over here with these newer item changes. Another change for Season 22, the Hadra Gifts is going to go ahead and allow us to get all class sets, which is awesome over here. And if you guys are wondering for Season 22, what are the rewards right now? Horde of 90 Savages, Aegis of Valor, Gears of Dreadlands, Patterns of Justice, Masquerade of the Burning Carnival, and Bundanuga's Regalia or Typhoon's Veil over here. And then Stone Gauntlets will not drop for all classes, so that's awesome. Paragon bonus gold find has been changed to gold pickup. Not that big of a deal, but this is actually a really nice change over here. Now, for newer items and updates to items, to basically make them new items, because some of these items we didn't even use. Anyways, with the newer item over here, this is for Necromancer. This is Glemnodor's Morrow's Guards. It makes it so Bone Spear cast from Simulacrums now deal 400 to 500% increased damage. The most recent best build is like an LOD build, but we recently did cover a guide that did show off the new set. So if you guys want to see that, I'll pin it down below. But I think most of us probably have already finished it off this season. But just in case any of you guys are new here, definitely if you are new here, subscribe and turn that bell if you guys want to see gameplay of course, any of these new things that we're talking about, as well as gameplay, because literally the second it comes out, I'll give you guys gameplay of all the new content here on the channel. But anyways, next up with Ivory Tower, we have Rapid Multiple Blocks will now scale the damage of Fires of Heaven up to a maximum of 2.5 times the damage. To give you guys some visual representation of what the heck Ivory Tower is, just in case some of you guys might be unfamiliar with some of these items or some of the things we're going to be talking about, I'm just going to go ahead and mouse over them. So the blocks would release a Fires of Heaven. Now we're going to get bonus damage over here, and it's going to be a maximum of 2.5 times the damage, so that's going to be very nice. Mantle Channeling, remove the 1 second startup over here, and if you guys don't know what that is, Mantle Channeling is the shoulder pieces. That's going to make it so when you channel something, you're just going to get a bonus damage, but you had to channel it for at least 1 second, so it would have a wind up before you got that bonus, and now they removed it, so just straight up a buff. Etched Sigil, this is a new build that will be emerging using Energy Twister. So while channeling Arcane Torrent, this is an offhand for Wizard. Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and just show it off over here. So with this one, I believe we're on Wizard. So we'll go type in Etched Sigil over here. This is going to be the thing where while channeling you get extra bonus damage, and it's going to be casting one of your arcane spenders. But now it has been changed, so you're getting more damage on it, so it's 200 to 250 when you're channeling one of those abilities, and you will be casting Energy Twister every second. So it's more specific to a newer build that they're trying to promote, which is Energy Twister, and there's another item that will be benefiting it as well. Next up we have Fragment of Destiny. This is a wand where it granted you a Spectral Blade to attack faster and has extra bonus damage, but now it has been changed. So your signature spells will attack 50% faster, which there's already like a belt that will help out with that. And then on top of that, it will deal triple damage. And then you'll also gain a spectral buff. So this is new. Whenever you land an attack with a signature spell, Hydras will deal 25 to 30% increased damage for each spectral stack. The max is 10 stacks, so that can be up to 300% bonus damage, which would be quite nice if you want to go ahead and mix like a Hydra and I guess a signature spell. Which would be quite cool. Next up we have the Voltex Rebuke. This is the Energy Twister item that I don't think anyone's really utilized. So this is a two-handed staff. Most people just don't use the two-handed staff. They're always cubed over here. Now with the extra Knights Cube bonus, this would be awesome. So it's going to make it so energy travels in a straight path, but now we have a proper multiplier with it. We have 300 to 400% increased damage, so that's quite nice. Next up we have another offhand for Wizard, which makes it so enemies killed by cold damage will now have a 25% chance to raise a Frost Nova. For visualization, this is what it is. And so you have basically a flat 25 chance on this. And then on top of that, your Hydra deals extra bonus damage, up to 150% bonus damage to enemies in a blizzard. So we have kind of a blizzard Hydra build. And then with Wizard Spike, this is actually my favorite change. Performing attack has a 25% chance to hurl a frozen orb, and Arcane Orb deals 300 to 350% increased damage. So it already had this. It's just that now we have another multiplier. It's a dagger over here. Actually, I can go into it. Wizard Spike. So it's a one-handed dagger. Basically, though, there is one thing to note, and I'm pretty sure this should probably update the item. The Frozen Orb doesn't scale with your character's Frozen Orb. So if your Frozen Orb has a massive amount of damage with like DMO, the Frozen Orb that comes out of Wizard Spike is like 0 damage Frozen Orb. So this will hopefully fix that because no one really utilized it for those reasons. But now with Arcane Orb, this will be a nice little bonus damage to DMO over here. So DMO, which is the slow time, where you're going to be dealing massive amount of damage with the Frozen Orb. Now you can do even more damage with that. And the Typhon's Veil over here, which is the Hydra, just another damage multiplier over there. And with Norvald's Fervor, this item I actually had to look up because I was like, what the heck is this thing? So this is a Crusader Shield. We'll have to actually go to the Crusader Shield. It's the set with the Steed Charge. I'm not sure if anyone's going to be messing around with it, but anyways, yeah, we go find where the heck the Crusader Shield is. So this is the item over here, Shield of the Steed. So what it does is it increases the duration of Steed Charge by 2 seconds, and in addition, killing an enemy reduces the cooldown of Steed Charge by a second, and you gain 100% increased damage while using Steed Charge, and for 5 seconds after it ends. So I wonder if this is going to be like a viable build, a Steed Charge build, because now we have bonus damage with it going from 100 to 400%, as most people just didn't run it. But now with that extra slot in the Knights Cube, we're going to have access to, again, more builds with this. And then with the Armor of a Khan, just extra damage, little like to 25% extra buff over there. And then with Roland's Legacy, we have another buff. That is the sweeping set over here. Let me go and just go over it so you guys have it. Because some of these, again, these are just so old, like, that, so, well, it's more so like they're so old that the last time someone actually used it that you guys might be wondering what the heck is the thing doing. So it increases the damage of Shield Bash and Sweep Attack, and increases the attack speed of them, and also you get some damage reduction when you have the 6-piece bonus. So nice little buff with that. Then Seeker of the Light over here, this is the Blessed Hammer, just straight up more damage with that. Then we have Belt of the Trove, so for visual representation. This is the item where every 6 to 8 seconds you get to call down a bombardment, and now it's going to make it so every 4 seconds you get to call out a bombardment on a random nearby enemy, but it's going to deal a massive amount of extra damage here. And then with Mortal Drum, you're going to be able to double the number of bombardment impacts, and bombardment deals 400 to 500% increase damage over here. And again, because of the Knights Cube, this just adds up so many different extra damage areas, and also again, every build is getting like buffed over here for a lot of different classes. And then with Manjuma's Way, Angry Chicken Explosions increased from 400 to 2000%, so huge bonus on that. Spirit of Arachnir, this is going to be for Witch Doctor. Now we're jumping into that. Am I going to type in Spirit? Oh, sometimes when you type in the set name, like you have to know the exact name of the item. So I think they have pants, right? Let's see. What was the name of the... Oh, okay, Arachnir legs. So, because like I said, sometimes the set name, like Spirit, is not going to be popping up. So anyways, so you have the Spirit Pet, and the most important thing is the damage of your creature skills increased by 9,000%. So the spiders, the Plague of Toads, Fire Bats, Locust Swarms, all those are going to be increased. So it usually was... 9,000, and now it's going to have a nice little bonus over here where it previously was, yeah, so 9,000 over here to 17,000. And then with the Helltooth set over here, we have another bonus. So after casting Wall of Death, you gain 9,000% increased damage for 15 seconds to your primary skills, Acid Cloud, Fire Bats, and so basically some of the other skills with it. So yeah, nice little buff over there as well. Basically the same exact number, so I guess they're going to be very similar in the damages. But with Scrimshaw, we also have the reduction of the mana cost on Zombie Charger by 75%. It increases its damage 6 to 7 times the damage on something. Let's go ahead and look at that up. What is it? Scrimshaw over here. This is a one-handed spear, so this just reduces the cost of it. But to make it so it has 6 to 7 times the damage, that's going to be a huge buff over there. And then with the Innes, which is the monk set over there, nice little buff over there, just straight up those extra numbers. And then Shenlong's Spirit over here, which I believe that's the Two Fists, if I remember correct. I have to bring this one up here. Yeah, those are the fists where basically your spirit generators will have, where is it? The increased damage by 2% for each point of spirit you have. Once you reach the maximum, you're going to start draining it, but all your damage is going to be increased by quite a huge amount until you run out of spirit. Okay, so that's kind of cool with that as well. So I've always liked that, and I hope that this makes it like a little bit more viable. It's only 150%, but again, that's quite a huge number when you compare it to its previous one. And then Gunno Gear, Exploding Palms, On Death Explosion, applies Exploding Palm, and then also Exploding Palms damage is increased by 75 to 100%. Nice little buff with that as well. And then Blade of the Tribes over here, which is, I believe, a barbarian item. Let's go ahead and just go right over that. So it's a barbarian item. And if you guys want to read all the full patch notes, I'll leave it down below as well. Gosh, this is a longer video than intended. But Blade of the Tribes over here. So it's a two-handed weapon over here. Unfortunately, in Diablo 3, you can't dual-wield two-handed weapons like you could in Diablo 2. The only Crusader can, I guess, one-hand them. But anyways, so you're probably going to be cubing it. Warcry and Threatening Shout causes an avalanche and earthquake over here. And on top of that, you're going to be dealing a extra 150-200% damage. And then just to tell you how to do the whole PTR copy thing. But anyways, yeah, that's it for the patch notes. So let me know, guys, what you thought of this new season for the Season of the Shadows. I like the idea of it. But again, I hope these shadows are actually going to be good. I really wish you got to choose which one. Maybe like you go into the Kanai's Cube and you choose which one would help you out. Because again, I think it would be cool if you could have like this kind of follower with a shadow. It only activates with the Shrine or Pylon. But again, I'm wondering if it only works if you click on it, because there is an item. I believe it's a two-handed staff. I want to say, if we go to Monk, I might be able to find it here. If not, someone comment below what the heck is the item's name. I believe it's a staff. There is an item. Let's see if I can find it real quick over here. But yeah, it makes it so. I believe it was on the Crusader. It could have it. I just know that there is an item on the game that will grant you a shrine effect, and if that would be the best item, that would be really funny. I don't know if can Crusader even wield it. Like I said, I know it exists. I want to say it's a staff, but it might be another item. But that item, I hope it does work with it, and if it does, I'll give you guys gameplay of it. But thanks for tuning, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like on it, and if you are new here and want to see more Diablo content, check the pinned comment. I haven't uploaded anything super recently because there hasn't been any new content here, as we're basically reaching towards the end of the season. But I'm really excited about this new season. I think I'm really excited about having access to not only all of these changes with a lot of these items, but in addition to that, the ability for every single character to be able to have that extra Kanai cube slot is one of my favorite things. But anyways, let me know your guys' thoughts about it down below and what you guys think is going to be one of the best builds for this upcoming season. For me, I mean, getting this item alone, 400 500% on something that was already very great. But the thing is, the Gears of Dreadlands was one of the most insane things last patch, and I think that getting an extra Kanai's cube slot, there's no real huge buff with them over here, but just that extra Kanai's cube slot could open up the doors for a lot of different builds, which I'm really excited about. But anyways, take care guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. I'm looking very forward to Season 22's PTR, and I'll give you guys gameplay of it ASAP. Anyways, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.